Have you ever wondered if robots should have rights? It's a curious question, isn't it? But it's one we're forced to contemplate as artificial intelligence becomes a pervasive part of our daily lives. From our phones to our cars, AI is everywhere, subtly influencing our decisions and shaping our reality. But with this technological marvel comes a host of ethical dilemmas. As we delve into this topic, let's keep this question in mind. Can a machine truly be ethical? Imagine a world where every online click, every purchase, even every spoken word is recorded and analyzed. Sounds a bit like science fiction, doesn't it? Well, this world is closer to reality than you might think. In the digital age, tech giants like Google and Facebook are constantly collecting and analyzing data, much of which is personal. Every time you search for something, click on a link, or even speak to your smart home device, this information is captured, stored, and analyzed. Now, why would these companies want to know so much about you? The answer is simple: personalization. The more these companies know about you, the better they can tailor your online experience. That might mean showing you ads for products you're likely to buy, or suggesting new music based on your listening habits. This level of personalization can make our online experiences more enjoyable and efficient. But here's the catch. To achieve this level of personalization, these companies need access to a lot of personal data. And this is where we venture into the ethical gray area. Are these practices an invasion of privacy? And if so, how much of an invasion are we willing to tolerate? It's a difficult balance to strike. On one hand, we have the convenience and efficiency that comes with personalization. On the other hand, we have the potential erosion of privacy. This is not a simple equation, and the answer is not clear-cut. There are safeguards in place, of course. Regulations like the General Data Protection Regulation in Europe aim to protect consumer data and limit the extent of data collection. But are these measures enough? And are they keeping pace with the rapid advancement of AI technology? These questions need to be asked, and they need to be asked now. As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, the question becomes, how much privacy are we willing to sacrifice for convenience? Have you ever been recommended something online that seemed a little too accurate? This is a common experience that many of us have had, and it's a result of artificial intelligence algorithms working behind the scenes. But this accurate recommendation is a double-edged sword, and here's why. AI algorithms, at their core, are trained on data. They learn from this data and make decisions based on what they've learned. But what happens when the data they're trained on is biased? Well, the AI inherits that bias, and it can even amplify it. This is one of the major ethical concerns with AI, the perpetuation and amplification of existing biases. Consider the case of Amazon's hiring algorithm. In 2016, Amazon scrapped an AI recruitment tool because it was found to be biased against women. The algorithm was trained on resumes submitted to Amazon over a 10-year period. But the tech industry is known to be male-dominated, and the data reflected this. The algorithm learned that male candidates were preferable, and it downgraded resumes that included words like women's, as in women's chess club captain. It even penalized graduates of 2 all-women's colleges. This is a clear example of how AI can perpetuate and amplify existing biases. And it's not just gender bias. AI can exhibit racial bias, age bias, socioeconomic bias, and so on. These biases can have real-world impacts, from job recruitment to loan approvals to criminal sentencing. So what can we do about it? The first step is awareness. We need to know that this is a problem, and we need to talk about it. We need to be transparent about how AI algorithms are developed and used, and we need to actively work to reduce bias in AI. This includes diversifying training data, regularly auditing AI systems for bias, and incorporating fairness as a key metric in AI development. Bias in AI is not just a tech problem, it's a human problem, and it's one we need to address. AI has the potential to greatly improve our lives, but we need to ensure that it does so in a fair and equitable way. When an autonomous vehicle is involved in an accident, who is responsible? This is the question that sparked a significant debate in 2018 when a self-driving Uber car tragically hit and killed a pedestrian. This incident brought to the fore the ethical dilemma of accountability in artificial intelligence. In traditional scenarios, if a vehicle causes an accident, the driver is typically held accountable. But when it's an autonomous vehicle, who's really in the driver's seat? Is it the software developer who coded the AI? The company that owns the vehicle? Or perhaps the AI system itself? This is where things get murky. While AI systems can perform tasks that were once exclusively human, they don't possess human qualities like consciousness or intent. They don't make choices in the same way we do. Instead, they follow a set of instructions given to them by their programmers. So, if an AI system makes a mistake, it's not because it intended to, but because it was programmed that way. However, holding the developer, or the company responsible, isn't always straightforward either. They could argue that they didn't foresee the specific scenario that led to the accident. After all, it's impossible to predict every possible situation an AI might encounter. There's also the issue of the AI learning over time. Many AI systems use machine learning, which means they evolve and adapt based on the data they're fed. So, even if a programmer initially set the rules, the AI might have altered its behavior over time, which complicates the question of responsibility even further. In a world where AI is increasingly making decisions that affect human lives, assigning accountability isn't as simple as pointing a finger. It's a complex issue that involves legal, ethical, and technological considerations. It's a conversation we need to have, and it's a conversation that's only going to become more important as AI continues to evolve. As AI continues to make decisions that affect human lives, assigning accountability becomes more complex. Where do we go from here? That's the question we're left with after delving into the ethical mazes of AI privacy, bias, and accountability. But don't fret, the future isn't as bleak as it may seem. There are potential solutions to these ethical dilemmas that can guide us towards a more ethical AI future. Let's start with regulatory oversight. As AI continues to weave itself into the fabric of our daily lives, the call for regulatory bodies to oversee its development and deployment grows louder. By establishing clear rules and guidelines, these bodies could ensure that AI systems respect user privacy, mitigate bias, and are held accountable for their actions. But it's not just about having rules, it's about enforcing them. This calls for strong, independent oversight bodies that can hold AI developers and users to account. Next, let's talk about transparency and algorithms. Currently, many AI systems are like black boxes. We feed them data, they spit out results, but what happens in between remains a mystery. By demanding transparency in algorithms, we can begin to understand how these systems make decisions. This can help us identify and rectify biases, as well as ensure that AI systems are making decisions in line with our ethical standards. Finally, there's the role of interdisciplinary collaboration. The ethical issues surrounding AI aren't just technological problems, they're societal ones. By bringing together experts from a range of fields, from computer scientists to sociologists, philosophers to policymakers, we can ensure that a wide range of perspectives are considered in the development and deployment of AI systems. But perhaps the most important solution is ongoing conversation. We need to keep talking about AI ethics, keep asking tough questions, and keep pushing for change. The dialogues we have today will shape the AI of tomorrow. The future of AI ethics is not set in stone, it's up to us to shape it. And shaping it starts with understanding it. So let's keep learning, keep questioning, and keep striving to ensure that the AI of the future is an AI we can be proud of. As we've seen, AI ethics is not a straightforward topic. It's a labyrinth of questions and concerns, each branching off into a myriad of potential outcomes. Let's revisit what we've navigated through today. We delved into the murky waters of privacy, recognizing the inherent tension between the convenience AI offers and the potential invasion of our personal lives. We discussed how AI, as a creation of human minds, can unintentionally mirror our biases, leading to skewed results that can perpetuate inequalities. We also tackled the issue of accountability. Who should bear the responsibility when an AI system fails or causes harm? Is it the developers who created it, the company that deployed it, or the users who leverage its capabilities? These are questions that we, as a society, need to address head-on. The essence of AI ethics is not confined to these three areas, of course. It's a broad, ever-evolving field that demands our constant attention and engagement. The conversation about AI ethics is not a one-time event. Rather, it's an ongoing dialogue that needs to evolve as AI technology advances. The ethical dilemmas we face today are merely the tip of the iceberg, and as we continue to push the boundaries of what AI can do, we must also push the boundaries of our ethical considerations. Remember, the question isn't can machines think, but how should machines behave?